Good afternoon everyone, welcome back to the Nature Patch. My name is Robyn and I hope you're all enjoying the lovely bird sound behind me in the bush. The birds are definitely loving this Sunday afternoon. I can see a lot of flowers and berries back in some of the native trees, so it's obviously a great time for a lot of the birds. I'm out in the garden this afternoon and I have a few things to pick for dinner. We're making homemade pizzas, so I wanted to grab some greens and some herbs to have as toppings. It is also a little bit windy, so hopefully the wind isn't too annoying. Scott and I just finished putting some more weeping hose throughout the food forest, so I'll show you what that looks like. So all of this black hose is now in. What I need to do now is come through and mulch it all like I have with this side. And as you can see how it works, it pretty much just weeps out of the hose. So it's really good for things like tomatoes and a lot of other plants that don't like getting their leaves too wet. Just goes straight into the ground down to the roots. And obviously if it has mulch on it, it's going to last a lot longer. I've also noticed that I've had a few random things in the garden that some of you may have noticed. So I have a few wine bottles and bottles lying around, and I'll show you what I use them for right now. So before I had this weeping hose in, I didn't have any form of irrigation out here, and I went away for a few days here and there without watering the plants, and some of them suffered a lot. So I have seen this method on a channel, Veronica Flores, I think her name is. I will link her channel down below. She's got some amazing content. And this was something that she covered on her channel that she does with some of her plants. And it's basically irrigation with glass bottles. Basically what you do with this, you fill it up with water. So I've got my watering can here. So I've got that filled with water, and all you do is just plonk it down into the ground, into the soil. And it'll slowly seep out into the soil below, and the roots of that plant can take up the water as they want to. Plant roots are really smart, they'll grow in the direction of water. So something like this is really great if you're going away for a few days or you have a really small area that you don't want to put a massive hose in. Obviously now I've got this really cool hose, so I use that. But I'm still going to be using this form of irrigation around the garden where I don't have access to a tap or a hose. So all you do fairly simply is doing this really quickly. I'm going to tip it over and put it into the soil. So you will lose a little bit of water at the start, which is fine. You want to just move it in there so that the whole bottle top has contact. And as you can see, that water level isn't moving, so that means it has been plugged and it'll really slowly seep out. I've got a few bottles around. You can use small bottles or big bottles, and I found that this really works to keep a lot of the plants hydrated. Water doesn't obviously evaporate like it does when it's on the surface if it's underground. So this should retain a lot of water down below the soil. So now that I've covered that little wacky experiment that I was doing, I'm going to go and grab some greens and herbs and take you along. So this here is my Malabar spinach. As you can see, it's looking a little bit worse for wear after the 36 degrees we had today, but it's still okay to eat. So I'm just going to take some of these leaves and put them on top of the pizza instead of spinach. To be completely honest, I'm not the biggest fan of it raw. I like to mix it with other different leaves. But I find cooked it's really good to throw into stir fries or curries like we've been doing. And I think it's going to be a really staple green in our household for the climate that we're in. So I'm also going to grab some thyme. We've had this little bush here for ages. And now I'm going to go out to the front garden and get some saltbush, which is a native Australian green. Alright, so that is my little bowl ready for pizza. You really can't just go to the shops and buy saltbush and Malabar spinach and just a little bit of thyme, a little bit of basil and 1 or 2 small little capsicums. So it's really cool just to come out in the garden and get fresh ingredients like this. This is another corn update. The corn is massive now. Really hoping it continues to grow like this. It's looking a little bit wild in some areas. Pumpkins still going strong, melons, and it's just so nice backing onto the bush and listening to all the birds in the afternoon. So I'm going to head inside, have a glass of wine and get ready for a trip that I'm going on tomorrow. So I'll probably be uploading this video later in the week. So I won't be too regular with videos for the next week and a half, 2 weeks until I get back. But I am going to be documenting my trip and the research that I'm doing on my Instagram page. So my Instagram is at @the_nature_patch. I'm going to try and do daily updates of what I'm getting up to over there. So make sure you go follow over there. I hope you're all having a lovely day wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to like and subscribe for more like this. And I'm going to leave you with some nice pretty bird sounds. So I hope you enjoy that. And until my next one, happy gardening. Bye.